My name is Bhavik, and I am the current co-president of the UNSW Society for 2024. To me, affirmative consent includes consent which is ongoing throughout the entire procedure of whatever activities you are doing. I think at school, when we are first taught about the concept of sexual violence and sexual assaults and what it is, our minds automatically flick to the most extreme of circumstances, whether that be cases of actual rape or incidents where students or many other people have just had really terrifying experiences. But over time, that experience and that understanding has been shaped by so many other people's perspectives of what it can look like, even in the most small contexts, whether that be ranging from just intimidation at a club or feeling unsafe on campus because you're being looked at or stared at by other students. And the understanding has now become so much so that it's not just the large things, but it's the smallest things that can comprise of sexual assault and sexual violence. There can be many things that young men may feel that they can just turn the blind eye on, and since other friends may be doing the same type of things, it's fine, right? And that's probably one of the reasons why it's so hard to actually voice your concerns or feel like you can speak out when you see things that you may feel are actually wrong or are affecting another person in a way which are just concerning and scary. In regards to what actions I'd take in situations where it can become really difficult to challenge behaviors, if you feel like something's questionable, then it probably is leaning on the other side of the coin, where you should question it, you should have conversations about it. Before we can actually address the topic of strategies that we may implement, probably it's wise to share my own understanding of what microaggressions are. And for me, microaggressions look like those subtle things that you may not even realize are actually potentially having an impact on someone's self-esteem and self-confidence. But over time, because people think that they may be acceptable or not really impactful, those can really grow and snowball into something which has a really big effect. I suppose my strategies to actually tackle those as a bystander in a situation would be to look at 4 different aspects. So distraction, redirection, responsiveness, and reframing are the tricks that I'd use. The way sort of to break those up would be distraction. You're really just trying to move a conversation away from a point where someone is being targeted specifically due to their cultural or gender or any other sort of aspect of diversity that makes them unique. Framing is taking that person away, feeling confident to have a conversation or just questioning them about the fact that perhaps that wasn't right, and sort of understanding how the other person may be affected. Redirecting is naturally redirecting a conversation or an action to a different conversation or action so that the person or the victim in a scenario doesn't feel constantly like they are being the one who's at the center of attention. And then responding, checking in on the person who may have been impacted in that situation, making sure that you are the one who is taking an active step and not necessarily continuing to be a bystander when you see these things happen over and over again. Success looks like my mates not having to be on their phones while they're walking late at night. Success looks like my friends being comfortable going to a club and not necessarily feeling like they have to watch over their drinks all the time. Success to me looks like a safe world where everyone can be celebrated and cherished for their own diversity and unique features. You have to be hopeful. You have to be hopeful that there is change that is on the horizon, and you have to know the fact that that change can only occur if we are the ones who are at the forefront of it. The things that we have to do is really create that dialogue between ourselves and our friends. Reach out to your mate, ask your mate, hey, like, does this feel right? Because it doesn't do so for me, and be open about it. It's sometimes really hard to have those tough conversations, but have at the back of your mind that those are the conversations that are really being the change and the impact that you want to see in the world.